there are a lot of things I regret in my life. Things that may have been beyond my control, but that I am sure I brought onto myself. Unfortunately, I can't change the past. If I could, I would be relaxing on my second-hand couch, a bag of chips half eaten beside me, with crumbs on my shirt, aimlessly watching whatever was on late-night television. Instead, I am now so deeply involved in something I brought onto myself. I might as well be standing knee-deep in shit. The Darknet. For those of you who have successfully dipped a toe into the murky black waters of the Darknet, you know that it is some serious shit. And for those of you who never have, let my experience be a warning to you. Just like any other millennial, using the internet is the equivalent of breathing for me. I have become so dependent on technology for my everyday needs. Sense of my autonomy, self-reliance, and freedom have been stripped as a result, as I'm sure they have for you too. Whether it's for research or personal use, the internet provides us with the familiar world of Google, YouTube, eBay, Amazon, and so on and so forth. Beyond those websites, there is another side to the internet, a much more dangerous side, that is a breeding ground for shocking, disturbing, and controversial corners of the net. I first heard of the Darknet from my roommate's friend in college. From what I gathered, the Darknet refers to the encrypted world of Tor hidden services. Users cannot be traced, and more importantly, if done correctly, cannot be identified. These sites are password-protected, unlinked websites, and oftentimes contain hidden content accessible only by those who know what they are doing. My encounter with the Darknet resulted in a realm of imagined criminals and lurking predators. As a young, naive college student, I was bait. Top it off with the fact that I'm a woman, and you've got a Dateline story waiting to happen. I was working as a barista at the campus's coffee shop, making minimum wage at 20 hours a week. It wasn't much, but it was enough to support whatever social life I still had after closing shifts. One of my regulars, Damien, had come in minutes before closing. I was used to this by now. He did this on purpose, so that he could help me out with closing duties while getting to know me. I would be lying if I didn't say it was annoying at times. But after a while, I grew used to it. "What are your plans after tonight?" he asked, flipping a chair and stacking it onto the table. "Probably just gonna study," I fibbed. "Do you want to go to this party with me instead?" I raised my eyebrows. With his demeanor, Damien gave off the impression that he avoided parties, rather than went to them. I shook my head. "I'm sorry. I've got a test on Monday, and I'm so not prepared." He shrugged his shoulders and said goodnight. For a couple of weeks, Damien would continue to invite me to parties, and I would politely decline. Eventually, I blew up on him, and he got the message. This was the first closing shift where Damien didn't pay me a visit. It had almost been routine. I was a bit concerned. When I had gone home that night, I noticed that my laptop was sitting on my desk, turned on. I frowned. Earlier, before I left for work, I was 100% sure that I had turned it off and left it on my bed. I heard a ping sound from my laptop as I approached closer. I typed in my password, and on my screen was a black page with a bunch of open tabs. I had never been on this page, nor had seen any of these other websites in the tabs. And when I tried to close them, it wouldn't let me. A small countdown on the bottom right showed I had 32 more minutes before my session expired. Another ping sound. It was a message from ZODX123. You've been doxed. I grabbed my phone and Googled what doxed meant, and my heart dropped. Doxing was a growing way people abused, intimidated, angered, provoked, and trolled others online. It could be done throughout a period of time or all at once. It all depended on the person. I laughed out loud, figuring it was a prank by my roommate's friend. I typed back, "LOL, Frankie, good job. Now can you please exit all this so I can use my laptop?" My webcam light turned on, the green light focusing on me. Another pop-up. I was now staring at myself. I grabbed a post-it note from the side of my desk and stuck it on. The minute I did that, another pop-up on my screen. This one had every single photo stored on my laptop. A chat showed up. I began to see comments, approvals from those watching. I watched as the numbers grew, the comments getting more vulgar by the minute. "Stop!" I screamed, which only egged them on further. Another pop. This had all my personal information, my emails, my address, my banking information, everything. "Please, please, just stop," I pleaded. Within 15 minutes, everything of mine was on the internet. My credit cards maxed out. My debit account's in the negative. I could only stare in horror as my finances depleted. I began to cry, feeling defeated. Another ping. Session terminated. I let out a sigh. Was that it? It hadn't even been 32 minutes. My phone vibrated. An unknown number popped up with a text. "Sweet dreams." Another text, this time from my mom, with a picture attached of me during my first year at college. It was a picture that was meant for only my boyfriend's eyes at the time when I took it. She was outraged. After hours of crying, I had finally crawled into bed. I woke up the next morning feeling groggy and in a daze, wishing that what had happened last night was just a nightmare. A chime on my laptop indicated that it was not. Ping! I walked over, my heart racing. Good morning. The bright green light on my laptop was on. A video loaded up on my screen. It was a video of me sleeping. I froze. In the video, I could see my roommate stumbling in from a night out, passing out on her bed. The video sped up and stopped at 4:07 a.m. Two dark figures were at the foot of my bed, watching me sleep. My stomach wrenched, and I ran to the bathroom, throwing up anything in my stomach from the night before. It's been 3 days now. I'm running on little sleep and I fear for my life. I've been receiving anonymous packages, all full of disgusting things. Raw meat doused in blood with maggots thrown on it. Feces also seems to be a popular choice. The messages keep pouring in. My parents' information has now been released. I've ruined their lives. I am completely broke, and I've given up on everything. Please, whatever you do, stay away from the Darknet. Treat it as if it were the plague. There's nothing enticing about it. It will do more harm than good. If anyone knows what to do, please help me. I don't know what I did to deserve this, and I don't think I can take it any longer. Ghouls, I hope you enjoyed this Monday's video. A little different, a little bit creepy Darknet stuff. It's the first time dipping my toe in that side of horror YouTube. Granted, this is just a story that someone wrote, but it happens all too often, I think, from all the other videos I've watched of people telling their experience with the dark web or the deep web or whatever you want to call it, it like very rarely turns out well. So yeah, secret word for today? How about headphones? Because I need headphones. I'm using these crappy ear cancer headphones, aka the really crappy ones that come with your iPhone when you first get them, and they hurt really bad in your ears. So yeah, headphones. That's my dog's collar jingling in the background in the other room. But as always, the last video will be on the top left, the next video will be on the bottom left. All my social medias are on the screen as well as in the description box below. And remember, there's always someone or something watching you.